8649. Which method is commonly used to adjust the level of a float in a float-type carburetor? A. Lengthening or shortening the float shaft. B. Add or remove shims under the needle valve seat. C. Change the angle of the float arm pivot. The correct answer is B. The level of a float in a float-type carburetor is commonly adjusted by adding or removing shims under the needle valve seat. Shims alter the position of the needle valve, which in turn affects the fuel level in the float chamber. Adjusting the shims allows precise control of the float level. 8650. What is the possible cause of an engine running rich at full the carburetor? A. Float level too low. B. Clogged main air bleed. C. Clogged atmosphere vent. The correct answer is B. A clogged main air bleed will cause an engine to run too rich at full throttle. The possible cause of an engine running rich at full throttle is a clogged main air bleed. The main air bleed is responsible for controlling the air-to-fuel ratio in the carburetor. If it becomes clogged, it restricts the airflow and leads to a richer mixture, causing the engine to run rich. This can result in a higher fuel-to-air ratio than necessary, leading to inefficient combustion and potential performance issues. 8651. One of the things a metering orifice in a main air bleed helps to accomplish at a given altitude in a carburetor is A. Pressure in the float chamber to increase as airflow through the carburetor increases. B. A progressively richer mixture as airflow through the carburetor increases. C. Better fuel vaporization and control of full discharge, especially at lower engine speeds. The correct answer is C. The metering orifice in a main air bleed helps to accomplish better fuel vaporization and control of full discharge, especially at lower engine speeds. This is because the main air bleed introduces additional air into the fuel stream, promoting better mixing and atomization of the fuel, which leads to improved fuel vaporization. This is particularly important at lower engine speeds where there is less airflow and the fuel requires more assistance in vaporizing effectively. 8652. A punctured float in a float-type carburetor will cause the fuel level to A. Lower and enrich the mixture. B. Rise and enrich the mixture. C. Rise and lean the mixture. The correct answer is B. A punctured float in a float-type carburetor will cause the fuel level to rise and enrich the mixture. When the float is punctured, it loses its buoyancy and becomes less effective in closing the fuel inlet valve. As a result, the fuel level in the float chamber rises, leading to a richer mixture as more fuel is allowed into the carburetor. 8653. The back suction mixture control system operates by A. Varying the pressure within the venture section. B. Varying the pressure acting on the fuel in the float chamber. C. Changing the effective cross-sectional area of the main metering orifice, jet. The correct answer is B. The back suction mixture control system operates by varying the pressure acting on the fuel in the float chamber. The back suction system utilizes a vacuum source to create a pressure differential that affects the fuel flow. By adjusting the back suction control, the pressure acting on the fuel in the float chamber can be varied, thereby regulating the fuel flow and ultimately controlling the mixture.